Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Subrata Sarker. I'm a mechanical engineer working in industry since last 22 years. Today, I'm going to discuss a different topic. It's not a topic actually, it is a national problem. And this problem is in many other countries, but it is still a problem with the developing countries like India. That is a poverty, it's a national problem in India. Now, many of we have a different understanding of the this poverty actually. And whenever we say that something related with poverty in a country, we say the below poverty line or above poverty line. So let's have some basic clarification. What is poverty line actually? There is a minimum necessity of life. There is a minimum or least necessity of life, which we used to say in Hindi, that is a roti, kapra or makan. That is, the food, your clothes and your house. So this is the very basic requirement of the human. Those who doesn't have three of these together, they are below poverty line. So this is the basically simple way of understanding what is poverty line, below line or above line. And there are other, in economics you'll find that obviously there are different definitions, like it refers to a cutoff point usually in terms of the per capita expenditure, and which it divides the percentage of the population below poverty. Is called the head count ratio when it's related to some countries. So let's forget about this complex definition. I'll show you some picture, and I'm sure it will make you very much clear what is poverty. You can see the people are making their foods on roads. So this is, they are below poverty actually. People doesn't have food actually, somehow they manage to get some food and they are having in the family. So this is called below poverty line. So there are students in government primary schools, they are going to school primarily for having food and secondarily for the education. So this is called below poverty line. There are people you will find that don't have the this. So you can see this is actually below poverty line. There are people doesn't have house. They stay inside some pipes or drums. So this is below poverty line. This is called. And you will find in India is, besides these railway tracks, there are a lot of people are staying like this way. So they are below poverty line. There are people who find that there are people actually they try to this study, but they don't have the roof on their head. So they are below poverty line. This is actually very very sorry figure for the civilization. It's Indian, a picture in India, and most of the picture, there are many pictures I've taken personally in my camera. So this is the reality as on date till 2018. So at the same time, same places, the animals, cows are trying to have some food, and the kids are also trying to have some food. So I don't think there is no further definition need for what is poverty line below and what is not. In summary, in India, you can see that it's a picture of a slum of Mumbai, and this type of slum is everywhere in many places in India, cities. So on an average, as on date, 20% people in India are below poverty line. You'll find that different state has got different poverty line, because like for example, in Punjab, the below poverty line people are very less, because Punjab has developed a lot. So different states, so this is 20% is the on an average of Indian count actually. Now, if we say this India's poverty profile, that is an economic technical term called the poverty profile. There is a 27 crore, more than 27 little bit, the Indian people are below poverty line. You'll find that what is the rank of India in poverty line? It is 15th. As on date, India is in the 15th position. Number 1 is Chad, that is in Africa, then Madagascar, then Zimbabwe, then most of the African countries, and Indonesia, Philippines, Indonesia, then India, then Panama, then Guatemala, China. So India in 15th position as on date. You'll find this is a picture of Kolkata municipal area, somehow water is not coming for drinking. So corporation has sent this tanker. So this is the way actually. Even today, people are struggling for the basic needs. In many cases we find the very good and very developed picture, but that is a very small area actually. Majority areas are you'll see, you visit the village, you visit the remote places, you'll find and you'll have an understanding what is the reality. You know, that is say in GDP growth rate in India is about 7% as on date. But you'll find that GDP per capita of India is very less because population is huge. There is a huge population. And in last week I have also given a presentations on this, this Indian financial conditions. So where you'll find all these things. Now, at the same time, you can see China has got more than 3 times GDP per capita, and US is we are nowhere actually if we compare. So this is the present status. So we need to go a far way actually, to handle this. Now in India, but obviously there development is going on. There is no doubt about it, and poverty is also getting reduced. But the way, the speed needs to be increased very much actually, and it needs to reduce and remove very faster rate. Technically poverty has got a different cycle actually. It is not that someone is poor today and tomorrow he'll automatically be rich or the above poverty line. There is a technical, you can say a cycle which is called the poverty cycle. You can see here in this a picture when the family is poor, so child growth in a poverty actually. Now so obviously this cycle is going on. So there is a say in economics, if some external things are not intervened in the poverty, so poverty will remain poverty actually. Like poor people will remain poor unless some external things are going to add actually, like adding financial support from the government, and also they are increasing their educations of the children, and they are going out for doing some jobs, etc. So somehow some external things needs to be intervened, then only the poverty cycle will it can break actually, and people can cross the poverty cycle. So that is very needed. So education is very much important to this make this understand to the poor people. Most of the cases what happens actually, like those who are poor actually, they think we are poor, so what our kids will go would do by going to schools and colleges. So better they should start some earning money for doing small jobs. In this way they get into this vicious cycle of the poverty, and they never come up from the poverty actually. So this solution for this actually needs education is very much important. Education is a must for every person in India and all countries, rather I'll say, to have a better world actually. Now, vicious cycle of the poverty, as I said actually, in economics it is said that the set of factors or events by which the poverty which stands likely to continue unless there is a outside intervention. The poverty cycle can be called the development trap when the context is about a country or a big group of populations. Now, causes. What are the causes of the poverty? If we say it's a low productivity rate in the countries. So, countries' productivity development is also, this is very much related to the poverty line actually. And also the low salary of the people, low infrastructures of the countries, the business failure of the countries, and the peoples or individual or groups, the ignorance of technology. When someone is ignorant about the technology, that also lead to cause the poverty and unhealthy or diseases, and the natural or any other disaster, and inability to access the resources. Suppose a country have a lot of mines, but they are not able to dig in the mine and get the natural resources out of it. So the poor people will remain poor. So I'm sure the government is also focusing on the same, and India will remove this poverty line. Will the percentage of the poor people will be reduced very fast. So nowadays you can see this picture, but this actually this needs to be changed. Actually, everybody should go this above this poverty line. So we have a better India and developed India truly. So if you find this presentation, you can share with your friends. You can subscribe my YouTube video channel so that you can get this other upcoming presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.